Hello, welcome back to Tabias Moment. This is Spellless action local hack and slash game. So with the 0.7.1 update, they added 143 new items to the game. It's a major update. I covered the patch note previously, I know. But now I'm making a separate videos about the new items because there's a lot to cover. A lot to cover. So it's 143 new items. But if you count the items shown up in the patch notes, it's actually 146. So I guess the 3 item is a reworked item. I guess they don't count as a new item. Maybe that's why they said 143 instead of 146. I don't know. But let's go over the new items. So new disc, they added 24 disc, 5 stun disc, 5 item holding disc, and 9 power disc, and 5 new disc. Yeah, these are the 5 new ones. One of them is the reworked from the old healing disc with different name, renamed the shield heal disc. And new spell, quite a lot, 57 new spell, and they have 7 summoning spell, and they have like lots of different types of spell now. That's really cool. They have like tri they used to have dual spell with lightning fire and a cold lightning, something like that. Now they have tri-spell, basically the spell that has a 3 elemental type. That's really cool. And they also added a couple of dual spell as well. So that's really cool. We will go over every single one of them soon. And new artifact, they added 65 new artifact. Most of them has like variation, like lightning, fire, cold, right? So even though they say 65, it's less than that if you think about the item function, because as you can see like 3 different color, which means there's gonna be 3 elemental type item, which does the same thing, just has a different elemental type and whatnot. So yeah, so I kind of wish they don't add too much item like that, because it's kind of add too many items to the pool, and we only have limited rerolls. So yeah, I mean that's just my opinion. So let's start go over each item specifically. It's gonna take a long time. This video is gonna be probably very long, and I try to find information on the internet, so I don't have to do everything by myself by just going to the game and get the actual item. But it turns out there is no actual like wiki or information in English. So yeah, I think we have to do it old-fashioned way. Like Thanos said, it seems like I have to do it myself. Anyway, let's get to it. So here we go. Okay, let's start with the discs. They added 24 new discs. So let's start with the 5 stun discs. So they added 5 different stun type discs. So slash stun, blunt stun, pierce stun, explosion stun, and continuous stun. So slash stun generates 700% of stun power of slash type dealt to enemy as mana. So blunt stun 700%, pierce stun 700%, explosion stun 500%, and continuous stun 700%. Keep that in mind, the value is gonna be different from the story mode and the survival mode. So this is a new one. So basically you have to have the slash type and the stun power on it in order to generate mana. But this is going to generate more mana compared to the normal stun disc. This is the old one. So this one generates 300% compared to 700% or 500%. So this is going to generate more mana, but it has to be specific type spell. Compared to this one just generates mana as long as you have any stun power on your spell. So this is the old one. Yeah, so let's move on to the next one. They added 5 new item holding discs. So they added slash item disc, generate 10 mana per second for each base slash type items in the inventory. Blunt type, same thing. Pierce item, same thing. Explosion item, same thing. Continuous item disc, same thing. They all generate 10 mana per second for each type of items in the inventory. So that's cool. So this is the old one. This is the old item holding. This generates 30 mana per second for each unequipped item in the inventory. So you guys might think, well, this doesn't make sense, right? This has to be specific type, and it generates less mana per second compared to the old one, right? this one doesn't have to be specific. As long as you have unequipped item in your inventory slot, this generates 30 mana, right? So this seems much better than this one. But the thing is, I tested it. It doesn't have to be unequipped item in the inventory. As long as you have the slash base, let's for example, slash item this. As long as you have slash type items in the inventory, that also count here. So let's say if you want to use slash item this, as long as you have slash type item, slash type spell or artifact, that will count as slash items and it will activate this disk. So it's actually much easier for you to use this disk compared to the old one because you had to have unequipped items in the inventory. So you had to have like a lot of extra gem generation to use this disk. Compared to this one, as long as you can find those type of items, this will generate lots of mana compared to this one. And you can still use those items. So it's actually much better for you to use this instead of the old one. But you have to find a specific type. That's the main difference. So yeah. So I kind of like this addition. I can't wait to try them out. I think there are a couple of like really good items that you can use for this type of disc. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, so they added 5 new discs to the game. So gem hold disc generate 10% of current held gem as mana per second. Max is 2000 gem. So in theory, you can generate 200 mana per second as long as you held 2000 gem. But you usually want to spend gem. You don't want to hold on to the gem too much, right? So I don't know how good this is gonna be. But obviously, if you can have 2000, if you can hold on to 2000 gem, it's pretty good because 200 mana per second is crazy good. So let's move on to the next one. So next one is this one. Berserker disc generate 40 mana per second for each missing health point. So the healing in this game is kind of limited. So going Berserker kind of build, there are a couple of artifacts that benefit you from having like a missing health point. So I don't know, maybe there are some like new artifact that heals you or something, but generally speaking, Berserker type kind of like a disc or like a artifact is usually not that good. But it might be good. I don't know. They added like a new artifacts to the game, so this might be good. So we'll have to wait and see. I think I would have to try them out myself. So Warrior Disc generate 30 mana per second while performing combo attack. So it doesn't have to be last combo. It just has to be any attack. So any attack you perform is counted as a combo. So it will generate mana. So this is actually pretty good disc because as long as you're using your normal attack, this will generate lots of mana. So pretty good disc. So upgrade this. Generate 50 mana per second for each upgrade on this disc. So this is pretty interesting because if you upgrade this disc, this will generate more mana. So yeah, it's kind of interesting, right? As long as you upgrade this disc, you will generate more mana. Even though the upgrade you might get probably doesn't generate mana. So let's try. Okay. Huh? So for each upgrade on this disc, so if this is 1, 15. If it's this 2, that's 30, but you can get the increased mana production upgrade on it. So this can actually double. Okay. The base is 50 mana per second for each upgrade, but if you get the increased mana production upgrade on it, this is going to upgrade the value, increase the value of the mana per second for each upgrade. So this is kind of tricky, but I think it's pretty good. As long as you have like a couple of upgrades on it, this will generate enough mana for most spell. So I think this is pretty good. But I think the base value is kind of low. So 50 mana for I think they have to increase the value just a bit in order to make this disk usable. Maybe 20, maybe 30 might be good value. I think from 15 is just too low because you have to put the upgrade, you have to put a gem to upgrade this. So the value you get from this disk, I don't know. You will have to put at least 2 or 3 upgrade on it to make this usable, in my opinion. So hopefully they increase the value of the mana generation on this disk just a bit more. Because right now it's just too small. It's just too small. I mean, that's just my opinion. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so they added 9 power disks to the game. So fire power disk generates 60% of affliction as mana when fire type is created. Cold power disk, 60% of affliction as mana when cold type is created. Lightning power disk, same thing, 60% of affliction as mana when lightning type is created. Physical potential disk generate 30% of damage as mana when physical type is created. So slash power disk generate 40% of damage as mana when slash type is created. So same deal with here. Blunt power disk 40%, pierce power 40%, explosion power 40%, and continuous power 40%. So this can be a bit confusing, right? Because you already have creation disk, right? So this generates mana when specific type is created. Compared to the power disk, it's kind of similar, right? Because you have to create these type. So what's the difference here? So the slash creation disk will generate mana when slash type is created. It doesn't have to be anything specific. It just has to be slash type. It doesn't care about its damage and whatnot. But this one cares about its damage. Therefore, it's called slash power disk. So that's the main difference. So the slash, so both of them will activate as long as you generate slash type spell, I guess. But this is based on the damage instead of just the type. This one doesn't care about the damage, so that's the main difference. It can be confusing. It can be a bit confusing, but yeah, as long as you have like a lot, if you have like lots of damage on the specific spell, this can be much better than the creation disk. That's the main difference, I think. The another difference is the elemental type disk is based on affliction, and the normal spell is based on the damage, and the physical is also based on the damage, but it's less compared to the just the spell type. Yeah, so that's it. That's it for the disk. I just couldn't find the last disk. That's the old healing disk. I just couldn't find it. I rewrote so many times. I just can't find it. So that's 24 disk. I mean 23 disk if you don't count the old healing disk. So let's move on to the spells. Okay, so they added 57 new spells to the game. So 7 summon minion spell. It's actually 8, but I think one of them doesn't count as a summon minion spell. So let's take a look. So they added Fire Wisp, Ice Wisp, Lightning Wisp, Rock Wisp, Spike Wisp, Air Wisp, and Void Wisp. Also, Burning Tentacle. I don't think the Burning Tentacle counts as a summon minion, even though this one has a minion tag on the spell type. Okay, let's take a look. Fire Wisp, Fire / minion type spell, 160 mana cost. Damage is /10, stun power is 1, elemental fire affliction 10. Summon a fire wisp that applies fire affliction to nearby enemies and itself. So if I cast a spell, it's going to orbit around the player, and it's going to apply fire affliction to nearby enemy, and it's going to disappear after a few seconds. So I think this is pretty good summoning spell, because the one main problem with the summoning spell is that you have to activate the summoned minion by either hitting them with a spell or a weapon. But this one activates on its own. You don't have to worry about hitting this fire wisp. It will activate on its own, so it's pretty good. Pretty good, I think. Let's move on to the next one. Ice Wisp. Cold Pierce minions spell type, 160 mana cost, 30 pierce damage, stun power is 5, elemental affliction, ice 30. Not bad. So create on Ice Wisp that pierces a nearby enemy when it loses health. So if I cast a spell, it's going to summon the Ice Wisp and it's going to orbit around the player. The main difference is it's not going to activate on its own. Even this collide with the enemy, it's just going to ignore it. When the enemy attacks, it's going to just ignore the enemy attack. So you have to hit this by yourself. You have to either hit it with a spell or normal, just your weapon, and then it's going to activate. And if you hit it enough times, it's going to get destroyed, and you have to summon this again. So that's one particular reason I just don't think the summoning summon minion type build is that powerful. I would have to try it myself, but the problem is with the summoning spell, if in order to activate them, you have to hit them with either spell or weapon. So you kind of need a secondary spell in order to activate them, or the weapon in order to activate them. So that's kind of problem with the summoning spell, and the summoning spell doesn't protect you from the enemy attack, or it doesn't track down the enemy by itself. So that is the main problem. So what's the point of summoning them? Even though this is called summon minion, they really don't do what the summoning spell is supposed to do compared to the other games. That's the main problem, I think. I mean, that's just my opinion. So let's move on to the next one. Lightning Wisp. So this is a lightning continuous minion type spell, 160 mana cost, and damage is continuous type 10. Stun power 0. Elemental lightning affliction 10. Summon on lightning wisp that applies lightning affliction to nearby enemies and itself. So if I summon this, it's going to constantly apply lightning affliction to nearby enemies and itself, and it's going to disappear after a few seconds. So you don't have to activate them. It's going to activate on its own. The main problem is this will follow around player. This will not go towards the enemy. I think that's the one thing they really need to fix, is that make sure your summon minions or summon spell track down the enemy instead of player, because there's literally no point. Like, in order to use this, you have to summon it and you have to move away from it. So make sure they hit the enemies on your way back, basically. So yeah, kind of wish they make a change on that. So I don't know if this is that good. I don't know. I would have to use it, but yeah, that's the main problem with this summoning spell. Most of them doesn't. It will follow around the player instead of enemy. That's the main problem. So Rock Wisp, it's a physical blunt minion type spell. Costs 160 mana, 40 blunt damage, stun power is 3. Doesn't have any affliction. Summon on Rock Wisp that damages nearby enemy when it loses health. So this looks really cool, don't get me wrong. The main difference is this will just float around. It's not going to track down enemy. It's not going to follow the players. It's just going to wander around aimlessly until until you hit it, and then it will activate. And also, this is not going to protect you from the enemies. This basically will ignore the enemies completely. The enemies will also ignore this. So, yeah. In order to activate it, you have to hit it with a spell or weapon. And if you hit it in time, it gets destroyed. Not a fan. Looks really cool, but I kind of wish they changed a couple of things in order to make it more useful. So let's move on to the next one. Spike Wisp. It's a physical pierce type. It's a physical pierce minion type spell. 160 mana. Pierce damage type 40. Stun power is 3. Summon a Spike Wisp that pierces enemy when hit with a weapon of attack. Now, this is very specific because it's pretty fast and it's going to follow on the player. It's not going to um, track down the enemy, so it's going to follow around the player itself. In order to activate it, you have to hit it with your weapon attack. So do it like this, and you can just bounce it off and shoot it across the enemy, like kind of like ping pong almost. I mean, it's a cool idea. Don't get me wrong, but it's a bit hard to use because you have to know where these are, and you have to shoot it across the across the screen, to deal damage to the enemy. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty interesting idea, but I don't know if it's that good. So let's move on to the next one. Next one is Air Wisp. So it's a physical explosion minion type spell. This costs 180 mana. It's an explosion type damage, 20, stun power 6. Summon an Air Wisp which explodes after taking some damage. Explosion deals additional damage scaled to the biggest damage received. So this is kind of unique spell because the damage is actually based on the damage this wisp received. Because additional damage scaled to the biggest damage received. So if you can deal like 1,000 damage, this is going to scale out of control. But the problem with the summoning spell, as usually it is, you have to summon it, and this is not going to follow on the player. And after a couple of seconds, this will just explode on its own. So you have to summon it, and you have to deal damage to it. Then it's going to deal additional damage based on the damage you dealt to the wisp. Kind of interesting, but again, same problem with the summoning spell. It's not going to track down the enemy. It's not going to protect you or anything. So, I mean, it's an interesting idea, but I don't know. I don't know. It seems really good if you can deal lots of damage to it. So let's move on to the next one. Void Wisp is a physical continuous minion type spell, 160 mana cost. Continuous damage is 20, stun power is 0. Summon a Void Wisp that orbits around the player. This is actually one of the favorite summoning spells so far. I think so with this is going to orbit around the player and it's not going to disappear. So you can summon as many as you want, and it's not going to disappear, and it's just going to overlap each other, and it's going to deal damage if the enemies come too close to it. So I think this is pretty good summoning spell compared to all other summoning spell. So I think the Fire Wisp and the Void Wisp might be the best summoning spell compared to all other summoning spells so far. But I would definitely try out the summoning build in future. So keep that in mind. So next, let's move on to the last spell here. So Burning Tentacle. This is a fire continuous minion type spell. Cost 70 mana. 50 continuous damage. Stun power 6. Elemental affliction. Fire 50. Summon a burning tentacle from the ground. Even though this has a minion type, this doesn't count as a summon minion spell. Because if you cast it, it's going to summon a burning tentacle from the ground, and it's going to hit the enemies, and it's just going to disappear after like 1 second. So even though this has a minion tag to it, doesn't really count as a summoning minion. So yeah. And this is the old Warm Color spell. This was the only summoning spell available in the game. And it still has the same problem. Yeah, you summon the minion, and it's going to follow you instead of tracking down the enemies, and you have to activate them by hitting it. So not a fan of summoning spell. I kind of wish they really changed the summoning how the summoning spell works, because right now there's not really a whole lot of benefit with the summoning spell. It doesn't really differentiate compared to the other spell type right now. So yeah, that's my take on the summoning spell. I mean, it's pretty cool that they actually added like a summoning type spell. But I think they need to rework some of the summoning spell and how the summoning spell works right now. Yeah, that's just my opinion. So don't take it too seriously. So let's move on to the next one. There are a couple of spells that has a dual type spell and also tri-type spell. So let's take a look. So Spark Fire, Frozen Lightning Star, and Lightning Fury is a dual type spell, I guess. And this constructs Claw, Elemental Void constructs Off, and Elemental Laser is tri-type spell. So let's take a look. So Spark Fire, Fire, Lightning, and continuous dash type spell. That's a lot of different types on one spell. So this costs 50 mana, 15 continuous damage, some power is 1. It applies 15 fire, lightning affliction, create a sparking fire that moves when you dash. Oh, interesting. So it moves when I dash. This would be interesting with the dash based build. Different, if you can like create a lot of this and just move around with the dash, and this is basically going to follow you with your dash. This is going to be very interesting spell with the dash based build. I kind of like it. Kind of want to try it. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Frozen Lightning Star. This is a cold lightning continuous spell. So it costs 100 mana, 30 continuous damage, 4 stun power, elemental affliction, lightning cold 50. Create a frozen lightning star that orbits around the player. Oh. Yeah, this is pretty cool spell. So after a few seconds, it's going to disappear. Oh, but this is actually pretty good. Pretty good spell to protect yourself against the enemy. And also has a dual type, is a cold lightning type, so yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Next one is Lightning Fury. This is lightning. But instead of elemental type, this has a 2 spell types on it. So it's a lightning / explosion spell. 80 mana cost. Damage is /30 and stun power is 3. Elemental affliction is 20 lightning. Create a lightning slash that explodes when hitting enemies. Hold on. Huh. Looks pretty simple. But I guess this will explode when I hit the enemies with it. Okay, interesting. Interesting spell. The takeaway from this is that this has a / explosion types on it. So, interesting combo here. Interesting combo. So let's move on to the next one. So next one is called Constructs Claw. So this has fire, cold, lightning / attack. Ooh, that's a lot. So 50 mana cost. This deals 40 / damage. Stun power is 5. Elemental affliction, 20 each. 20 fire, 20 cold, 20 lightning. Create a random elemental close on enemy. Huh. So it's okay. Oh. So it is random. So it's 1 out of 3. Interesting. So it doesn't deal all elemental type damage. Because it creates random elemental close, but it's going to either deal 20 elemental fire, cold, or lightning, depend on the elemental type you created. Interesting. Okay, let's move on. Elemental Void. Fire, cold, lightning, explosion type spell, 100 mana cost, 50 explosion damage, 2 stun power, elemental affliction, 30 fire, 30 cold, 30 lightning. Create a void that strikes enemy with all element. So this is not random. Wow. Oh boy. Man, that looks cool. Oh, I kind of like it. Oh, yeah. This spell seems really good. I mean, it looks cool. I mean, I would have to use it in order to, actually see if it is actually good, but it seems good. Seems good. Okay, let's move on. Constructs Oath. So it's a Fire, Cold, Lightning, Blunt type spell, 70 mana cost. Damage is 40 blunt, stun power is 3, 35 elemental affliction on everything, fire, cold, lightning. Shoot a projectile of random element. Huh. So that's fire, I guess. That's lightning, that's cold. So that they are kind of random. Yeah, so they are random. Interesting. But it still counts as a fire, cold, lightning spell. So yeah, in most cases, I think you want to use this because this will apply on the fire, cold, lightning spell combined. So pretty useful spell, I think. Even though it's random, I think I want to use it. Hmm, looks cool. Elemental laser, fire, cold, lightning, pierce type spell, 90 mana cost. Damage is 30 pierce damage. Some power is 4. Elemental affliction, 40 on everything. Fire, cold, lightning. Create a laser beam of all element. Oh, that sounds so cool. Oh, oh boy. Wow. That looks awesome. Man, I definitely want to use this. I definitely want to use it. If I can find it, I definitely gonna use it. This spell seems really cool. Really cool spell. Okay, so let's move on to the next spell. So they added lots of physical type spell to the game. So let's take a look. Earth's Hammer, Poison Dagger, Beast Bite, Uppercut Fist, Steel Shuriken, Gem Laser, Meteor Impact, Wind Blade, Poison Gas, and Explosive Stone. These are all new physical type spell. So Earth's Hammer, physical blunt attack, 60 mana cost, damage is 40 blunt, stun power is 30. That's a lot of stun power there. Create a hammer with a great knockback and stun power. Um, okay. Really? Is that it? I kind of expected the hammer to be much bigger, like about this size. Eh, that's kind of small. I mean, it does have a lot of stun power, so it works really well with the stun disc, I think. Hmm, I don't know. It could be good, could be bad. I would have to try it myself. So let's move on to the next one. Let's get rid of the Earth's Hammer. So Poison Dagger is a physical continuous attack type spell, 60 mana cost, 20 continuous damage, 2 stun power. Shoot a poisonous dagger deals damage over time. It's kind of slow going, but it has a 3 max hit on it, so it can hit 3 targets. Interesting. So, so this is one of the kind of unique spell that deals damage over time. I don't know. Seems kind of okay, but kind of unimpressive at the same time. Yeah, this is kind of unique because this deals damage over time without elemental affliction. So let's move on to the next one. Beast Bite. It's a physical pierce spell, 60 mana cost, 40 pierce damage, 5 stun power. Create biting fangs that temporarily reduce enemy defense. That's also unique because I think this is probably one spell that reduces enemy defense. It looks cool. Kind of small, but The main thing is it reduces enemy defense, so this could be really good against the boss. Hmm. We'll see, we'll see. But it looks cool. Yeah, I think that's a kind of unique spell that reduces enemy defense. So let's move on to the next one. Uppercut Fist. It's a physical blunt attack type spell, 50 mana cost, 20 blunt damage, 30 stun power. Wow. It has a lot of stun power. So this would be good with a stun disc, I think. Create a fist with a great stun power. Oh. So it's an uppercut. That's why I was like, why is it going why is it coming from like below the ground instead of up? Yeah, it's because it's uppercut. Okay, this looks fun. Kind of unimpressive, but looks fun. Looks fun. So let's move on to the next one. The Shuriken. Come on. So physic slash attack type spell, 50 mana cost, 25 slash damage, 2 stun power. Shoot a steel shuriken that returns to each starting position. Oh, okay. Okay, so it's not going to follow around the player. It's going to, yeah, come to the starting position and interesting. It's kind of slow, but okay, this could be fun. Yeah, seems okay. It has a max hit of 10, so we can hit 10 targets with this. This could be good. Could be good. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Gem Laser. Oh, yeah, I forgot the description. So, physical pierce gem type spell, 100 mana cost, 30 pierce damage, 1 stun power, shoot a void gem in straight. Oh, okay. It's basically flamethrower spell, but instead of the fire, you shoot out the gem. It's kind of like a gem shotgun. That's interesting. That's interesting spell. So gem Obtain build. I guess it's more viable now. I still don't think it's that good, but this spell it is kind of interesting spell. So the next one is Meteor Impact. It's a physical fire explosion spell, 200 mana cost. Damage is 200 explosion damage. Stun power is 20. Lots of stun power on this one as well. Create a burning meteor from above. Oh, this sounds cool. This costs lots of mana though. Wow. So it has a long delay. So after a couple of seconds, it will come down and bam. It's going to deal lots of damage and the stun power is 20. So it will be really good spell with the stun disc, I think. So pretty cool. Pretty cool spell. It has a bit of delays, but seems good. Seems good. So let's move on to the next one. Next one is Wind Blade. It's a physical slash spell. 30 slash damage, 2 stun power, create a blade of wind that bounces between enemy. So we have bouncing spell now. Oh boy. Okay, looks good. Looks kind of good. It has a max hit of 20, so this is going to bounce around the enemies like 20 times if it can hit that many enemies. That is. Duration is a second, so it's not bad. It's not bad. So let's move on to the next one. Poison Gas. Physical continuous spell, 80 mana cost, 20 continuous damage, 1 stun power. Create a poison gas that deals damage over time. So this is another spell that deals damage over time, even though this doesn't have any elemental types on it. So kind of interesting. Um, oh, that's it? Hmm. So it doesn't linger that long. Yeah, it only lasts for like 0. Like seconds something. But mm, the fact that this spell deals damage over time is kind of interesting. I will have to try it myself. So let's move on to the next one. Explosive Stone. It's a physical explosion spell, 70 mana cost, deals 60 explosion damage, 10 stun power, not a bad stun power. Throw a stone that explodes after some duration. So this is another delayed spell, huh? On to yeah. Okay, we can move away from it. It lasts for like a 2 second. 1, 2, yeah, and it explode. It's kind of small. Hmm. Not sure if it's that good, but we would have to use it, to actually understand how this works. Seems good. Seems good. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so the next spell they added a couple of spell that has a keyword when touched by player or enemy. So okay, that's kind of interesting. So let's take a look. So cold bubble, magma bubble, electric bubble, water bomb, lightning fusion, and ice monolith. So let's take a look. Cold bubble. Cold explosion spell, 120 mana cost, 50 explosion damage, 5 stun power, 50 cold elemental affliction. Create 4 cold bubbles which explodes when touched by a player. So we summon them, and it's just going to stay there. It does have a duration on it, so it's not going to stay there forever. So after a couple of seconds, it is going to disappear. Yeah. And it's going to explode when you touch it. Yeah. So that's how you activate them. Let's move on to the next one. Magma Bubble. It's a fire explosion spell, 80 mana cost, 80 explosion damage, 8 stun power, 80 elemental affliction. That's a lot. Create a magma bubble that explodes when touched by a player. It's basically same as the water type, but hold on. Oh, this create 4. This only create 1. So that's a difference. Oh, and when you touch it, it's going to explode. Interesting. So next one is Electric Bubble. Lightning Explosion type spell, 80 mana cost, 80 explosion damage, 8 stun power, 80 lightning affliction. Create an electric bubble that bursts when touched by a player. I think it's pretty much same with actually pretty huge. It looks cool. It looks cool. The Water Bomb is a cold explosion spell, 60 mana cost, 60 explosion damage, 3 stun power, 60 cold affliction. Create a water bomb that explodes when touched by enemies. The keyword is by enemy. So basically, this is it's pretty small. So you're not gonna activate it. Huh? Hold on. That's strange. The water bomb that explodes when touched by enemy. It say touched by enemy, but it explodes when player touches it. So I don't know if this is the wrong translation or not, but yeah, maybe it's a wrong translation. Hmm. But that means the water bomb is not really that different from the cold bubble, isn't it? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It might be wrong translation, or maybe it'll explode when touched by player as well as enemy. I don't know. But it seems kind of similar to the cold bubble. It's just smaller scale. So let's move on to the next one. Lightning Fusion. It's a lightning explosion spell for 45 mana cost, 50 explosion damage, 3 stun power, 50 lightning affliction. Create a lightning ball that explodes when touched by enemy. Okay, hold on. What the? So how long does it last? 6 seconds. Yeah. That's weird. Maybe wrong translation. Maybe it will explode when it's touched by player as well as enemy. I don't know, but it kind of seems like it explodes when touched by player. Hmm. Eh. Oh well. Let's move on to the next one. Ice Monolith. It's a cold blunt spell, 100 mana cost, 20 blunt damage, 2 stun power, 20 element, 20 ice cold affliction. Create an ice monolith that shoots ice ball whenever player attacks. That's kind of interesting. So, oh, that's monolith. That's kind of small. So it lasts for like 5 seconds, and when I hit it, so when player hits it, it's going to shoot out like a ice ball, I guess. Okay, that seems interesting. Well, that's interesting spell. Kind of cute. Don't know if that is that good though. Hmm. Ah well. Okay, let's move on to the next spell. They added lots of fire type spell to the game. So Fire Sonic, Flame Blade, Pyro Scatter, Blazing Steps, Dragon Breath, Fire Infusion, Flame Swallow, and Burning Star. Let's take a look. So Fire Sonic is a fire slash spell, 90 mana cost, 30 slash damage, 4 stun power, 30 fire affliction. Create a Sonic of Flame which flips direction whenever player dashes. So, oh, interesting. this could there are lots of spell that has to do with the dash effect. That's kind of cool. So we dash and it's going to change the direction. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. This could be cool with the dash build. Let's move on. So Flame Blade is a fire slash attack spell. It costs 60 mana, 30 slash damage, 4 stun power, 20 fire affliction. Create 5 Flame Blade that slashes enemy. Looks kinda cool, but it's kinda small. It's kinda small. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, looks cool. I don't know what. If you go for the slash build, maybe? I don't know. Let's move on to the next one. Pyro Scatter is a fire blunt spell, 100 mana cost, 20 blunt damage, 1 stun power, 20 fire affliction. Shoot a 9 small fireballs in all direction. Ooh. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. Fireball is kind of small, but it has a lot of potential. We can increase the projectile numbers with the upgrade and the artifact. So this could be very interesting spell to use. Okay, let's move on. Next one is Blazing Steps. Fire Pierce spell, 50 mana cost, 15 pierce damage, 2 stun power, 15 fire affliction. Create blazing knife that stabs one enemy multiple times. Okay, looks cool. Don't know if it's that good though. It does hit enemy multiple times, so that's a different keyword compared to the old spell. Could be good. I don't know. Could be good. So let's move on to the next one. Dragon Breath. Fire explosion spell, 100 mana cost, 35 explosion damage, 3 stun power, 100 fire affliction. Wow. Create a fire dragon's breath from above. Oh, this sounds so cool. Oh, come on. Be cool, please. Be cool. Oh, yes, it is cool. Wow. Okay, the radius, the area of effect is kind of small. It's not that big. but it looks really, really cool. Oh, definitely want to try this. So let's move on to the next one. Fire Infusion. It's a fire pierce spell, 60 mana cost, 20 pierce damage, 4 stun power, 200 fire affliction. Create a concentrated fire that deals great fire affliction after some delay. So it has a bit of delay. This has 100 fire affliction. This has 200 fire affliction. That's crazy. Okay, let's see how this works. Oh. So, huh. The area of effect is not that big. It's not that big. It has a bit of delay, but the number, the fire affliction number on this spell is crazy though. 200. Hmm. Okay, that's one thing to look out for. This spell could be really good, but I kind of like the Dragon Breath more. It could be good. Could be good. So let's move on to the next one. Flame Swallow. It's a fire pierce spell, 60 mana cost, 90 pierce damage, stun power is 2, 70 fire affliction. Create flame jaw that swallows enemy. Yeah, it looks really cool. I tried this in the survival mode previously. It wasn't that good. In the survival mode, that is, but it could be good. It could be good in the story mode. But it looks cool. Burning Star. It's a fire continuous spell, 90 mana cost, 20 continuous damage, 4 stun power, 20 fire affliction. Create a burning star that orbits around the player. Oh boy. Okay, that is so cool. So there are a couple of spells that orbits around the player. So if I can get all of them together, that could be a build. I mean, there are only a couple of them. There isn't that much. I think there's like 3 or 4, but this could be a build. Looks really cool too. Yeah. So that's it. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so they added lightning and cold spell to the game as well. So let's take a look. Electric Shuriken, Bolt Whip, Bolt Impact, Bolt Spread, Electric Cross, Lightning Bow, and Voltage Blast. So, Electric Shuriken is a lightning slash spell, 50 mana cost, 30 slash damage, 4 stun power, 30 lightning affliction. Shoot an electric shuriken that travels in circular paths. Wow. Okay, that is kind of cool. So shuriken build is kind of possible. Kind of possible. Bolt whips, lightning slash spell, 60 mana cost, 35 slash damage, 2 stun power, 35 lightning affliction. Create 5 electric slashes on nearby enemy. Huh. Okay. Kind of small, but looks decent. Looks decent. Bolt Impact. It's a lightning blunt spell, 70 mana cost, 10 blunt damage, 6 stun power, 20 lightning affliction. Release a bolt impact that deals more damages based on the accumulated lightning affliction of the enemy. So it deals more damage the more lightning affliction the enemy has. So this spell has a kind of potential to be good. But you have to focus a lot on lightning affliction in order for this to be good. And okay, the main problem is this spell is really small. I don't know about this. If this is much bigger, maybe, but it's kind of too small. Let's take a look at the other spell. Bolt Spread. Lightning Blunt spell, 100 mana cost, 20 blunt damage, 2 stun power, 20 lightning affliction. Shoot 8 lightning bolts in all directions. Oh. Interesting. So there is fire spell that does the same, like a similar thing with this. So that could be a build too. Interesting spell. Very interesting. Electric Cross. We tried this out in the survival mode previously. I think this spell is pretty good. Electric Cross Lightning, pure spell, 100 mana cost, 30 pure damage, 3 stun power, 30 lightning affliction. Create an impaling electricity in a cross pattern. So, yep. Yeah, it is pretty cool spell. Pretty cool spell. I really liked it. I tried out this in the survival mode, and I really like this spell. Lightning Bow. Lightning pure spell, 80 mana cost, 15 pure damage, 1.5 stun power, 10 lightning affliction. Create a bow that shoots lightning arrow when player attacks. So keyword is when player attacks. You don't have to hit this spell as long as you are attacking. It is going to okay. Oh wow, that is kind of interesting. If the size was slightly bigger and maybe the duration was a bit longer, maybe this could be a decent spell. I don't know, but the mechanic of this spell is kind of unique and seems fun to use. I don't think this is that good compared to that other spell though. I don't know. We'll see. Let's move on to the next one. Next one is Voltage Blast. It's a lightning explosion spell. We tried this out in the survival mode too. I kind of liked it. It's not a bad spell. 90 mana cost, 30 explosion damage, 4 stun power, 30 lightning affliction, shoot a wall of electricity. Pretty simple. Yep. Looks really cool. Looks really cool. Yeah, I kind of like this. Okay, I think that's it for the lightning spell, and let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this is the cold type spell. Here we go. So Frost Branch, Raindrop, Cold Burst, Hydro Torrent, Frost Pond, Water Whip, Ice Blade, Ice Roll, Icicle Drill, and Cold Whirlwind, and Glacial Wave. So let's take a look. Frost Branch, Cold Pierce spell, 40 mana cost, 40 pierce damage, 5 stun power, 40 ice 40 cold affliction, basically. Create a thrusting branch of ice from the ground. Yeah, pretty simple. The ice branch looks awesome, but it's too small. That's the main problem. It's just too small. It would be really cool if I could increase the size of this spell. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Raindrop. It's a cold continuous spell, 60 mana cost, 20 continuous damage, 1 stun power, 20 cold affliction, create a bouncing raindrop. So this is another bouncing spell. Huh. Interesting. I mean, okay, it doesn't say it's going to bounce between the enemy. Okay, so even though this is a bouncing spell, it's not actually bouncing spell. It does bounce. Don't get me wrong, it does bounce. If this bounce between the enemy, it would be cool, but I don't think it does that. Yeah. Yeah, move on to the next one. Cold Burst. Cold Explosion spell, 60 mana cost, 40 explosion damage, 5 stun power, 40 cold affliction, create burst of coldness. Huh, pretty simple spell, huh? Pretty simple. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, Hydro Torrent. I was kind of excited about this spell when I got this on the survival mode, but wasn't that impressive. Cold Continuous spell, 60 mana cost, 20 continuous damage, 1 stun power, 20 cold affliction, create a torrent of water. I was thinking of like a Kamehameha type of spell with this, but yeah, I mean it is sort of, but it's really, really small. I kind of expected much bigger spell. eh. I don't know. Maybe if we can increase the size of the spell, it'll be more impressive. But right now, it's not that impressive. That's kind of unfortunate. Let's move on to the next one. Frostborn is a cold continuous spell, 100 mana cost, 10 continuous damage, 0 stun power, 0 stun power, and 10 cold affliction. Create a pool of frost that can generate mana to disc when step on. Okay, this is another unique spell to the game. Okay, let's. Huh. So this will deal damage to the enemy. Create a pool of frost that generates mana to disc step on. So this will deal continuous damage to the enemy until the player steps on it, and it will break, and then it will generate mana when player steps on it. This spell is kind of interesting. So we do want to step on it, but if we do step on it, we gotta get the mana, but we gotta break the spell. That is a pretty interesting spell. Water Whip is a cold slash spell, 30 mana cost, 30 slash damage, 4 stun power, 30 cold affliction. Create a wave of water that hits multiple times. Pretty simple spell. 1, 2. That hits multiple times, it says, but I don't know if it's that good. It says it hits multiple times, but I think it only hits like 2 times. I mean, it costs like 30 mana, so you can cast this a lot, so it could be good. I don't know. Ice Blade. It's a cold slash spell, 50 mana cost, 20 slash damage, 3 stun power, 15 cold affliction. Creates Ice Blade that slash one enemy multiple times. The keyword is multiple times, so let's see. Oh. Okay. I think this is much better than the cold, like the Water Whip. I mean, the Water Whip has more damage, more affliction, more stun power, but this looks much cooler. This costs more mana though. I mean, on paper, Water Whip sounds much better, but this, I don't know. I think this is much better than the Water Whip, in my opinion. But we'll see. But it looks really cool. Ice Throw. Cold Pierce spell, 70 mana cost, 30 pierce damage, 6 stun power, 30 elemental affliction, 30 cold affliction. Throw 3 ice spikes to a nearby enemy. This is pretty much simple spell. Yep, pretty simple. I don't know if I like it. I tried this in the survival mode. Didn't feel that impressive. But it could be good. So Icicle Drill. It's a cold pierce spell, 90 mana cost, 25 pierce damage, 2 stun power, 25 cold affliction. Create a drill made of ice. Wow. It just keeps going. Seems like it. So does it have any max hit? Yeah, it has a max hit of 14. So it's going to hit the target 14 times and it's going to disappear. But it's kind of slow. But this could be good if you go for the Pierce build. So let's move on to the next one. Cold Whirlwind is a cold continuous spell, 80 mana cost, 25 continuous damage, 5 stun power, 50 cold affliction. Create Whirlwind or Freezing Gust. Ooh. Okay, that looks kinda cool. And the sound effect is like, ooh. This could be fun. This could be a fun spell to use. Okay, that's okay. And the last one is, yeah, I kind of missed this one. Yeah, this one had like a slash. So this is another dual spell. I missed it on the dual spell type because I didn't think this was a dual spell. Just by the look of it, doesn't look like it's a dual spell, but it is. But it has a cold slash explosion type. It's 70 mana cost, 50 slash damage, 8 stun power, 30 cold affliction, create glacial wave that moves horizontally. Huh? So, okay. So even if I cast it up there, it's not going to move downward. It's only going to move horizontally, basically. That is very strange spell. So it doesn't change direction when I dash. So what's so good about this spell? It only moves horizontally, right? And it doesn't have any max hit, so it can hit as many targets as possible. This spell is kind of weird in a way. It only moves horizontally, so that's the gimmick of this spell. Huh. Don't know if it's that good, but we'll try. We have to try it and see how this works. But it kind of seems interesting because it has a slash explosion text together, so it could be good. It could be good. So that's it for all the spell. That's 57 spells. Man, this took me a long time. And let's move on to the artifacts. Okay, let's move on to the new artifacts. So they added 65 new artifacts. They also made a lot of changes with the artifacts, with the old ones as well. So they changed lots of images and icons, and they changed a couple of artifact function, and some of the values of the artifact got changed. The rarity of the artifacts got changed as well. So it is kind of confusing if you're used to play the old version. But if you're a new player, new to the game, this is pretty good change because some of the minor artifacts you just never use them. So some of the artifacts got buffed, some of the artifacts got nerfed. So it's pretty good change overall. So let's move on to the new artifacts. So let's see. So Adventurous Backpack, 10% damage increase for unequipped item. This is 3-star artifact. In theory, you can get up to 100% damage increase for this artifact alone if you have 10 unequipped items, but that's pretty unlikely because you gotta have 10 unequipped items. That's really difficult to do. You gotta get lots of gems, and you can only get limited amount of gems um, in story mode and as well as the survival mode. So I don't know if it's that good. It's really hard to use this artifact. But we'll see. It's an interesting idea. Really good with the item holding this if you have them. Well, the value you get from this is kind of too small in my opinion. If it was like maybe 20% damage increase for unequipped item, maybe. So let's move on to the next one. Sword Chest is a 1-star artifact, 60% increased weapon attack damage, and 100% increased stun power for weapon attack. That's pretty cool. Even though this is 1-star artifact, the value you get from this is actually pretty substantial. It's pretty good. It's an attack-based artifact as well. So I don't know if you are relying on the normal attack as well as the charge attack. This could be a good artifact to get. Quiver. Distance enemies are damaged more. It's basically the archer head accessory, but it's as an artifact. So this could be really good with the archer outfit and archer head accessory combo. Yeah, this could be a really good artifact if you combine them together. But otherwise, could be good with a pierce spell too. So let's move on. Okay, this is 2-star artifact. I forgot about that. So this is a 4-star artifact. It's a bone back artifact. It has a minion tag as well, huh? For every 4 enemy minion killed, summon a bone totem which that grants temporarily 5% increased damage buff when it is destroyed. That's interesting. So it's 4 enemy and also minion. So if you have lots of summon minion spell with this artifact, this could increase your damage a lot. But the problem is you have to summon the totem and then you have to destroy the totem in order to get the buff. It could be good, it could be bad. I don't know, but this sounds a bit too complicated to use because you have to kill the minion, kill the enemy, then summon a totem, then destroy the totem in order to get the buff. Lots of steps involved here, so this could be good, but this is a 4-star artifact. I don't know, like this could be like 3 or 2-star artifact in my opinion. Let's move on to the next one. Alchemist Box. This is a 2-star artifact. Enemies have chance to drop a random buff portion. Interesting. Yeah, we have this modifier in the survival mode. So I think that's probably it in the story mode. So that's for this is for the survival mode. We have a modifier, the alchemist modifier, that the enemy have a chance to drop the buff portion. And I think that's it. They just compressed it and made it into artifact basically. That was pretty fun modifier if I remember correctly. Wasn't that good in the survival mode, but it was pretty fun. So this could be good. But only problem is you have to kill the enemy, and it's not guaranteed. It's a chance to drop a random buff portion. We'll have to wait and see. This is only 2-star artifact, so this could be fun to use. Librarian Bag. This is 1-star artifact. 40% increased weapon spell damage for each unequipped item. 40% increased weapon spell damage for each unequipped item. So in theory, you can get this up to 400% increased weapon spell damage. That's crazy. Okay, the value on this is actually pretty crazy. But it only applies to weapon spell. It only applies to one spell specifically. Compared to this one, it increased the damage on everything else. So that's the main difference here. But this kind of seems really good. But the problem is you have to have unequipped items. That's really hard to do. So I don't know. This could be good though. Like if you combine this with this, and if you combine that with the item holding this, that could be a build. That could be a build. Let's move on. So Gem Jar is another. This is a gem-based artifact. Generate 5% of gems health as mana per second to all discs. Max 2000 gem. So you can have up to 2000 gem, and it's going to generate 5% of gems held as mana per second. So the maximum value you can get out of is, so 1% is 20, right? 5% is 100. 100 mana per second to all discs. That's important. It's everything. This could be really good if you can. Yeah, if you can have a spare 2000 gem, this could be good. But usually you want to spend your gem most of the time. So yeah, I don't know if you can hold on to 2000 gem and not use it. This could be really powerful artifact. Even though this is 2-star artifact, this could be really powerful. So move on to the next one. It's a Wind Glove. It's a 1-star artifact. It's a charge-based artifact. While charging a tank, 150% increased dash stamina recovery. So while charging a tank, that's the keyword right there. Dash stamina recovery. I don't know. This could be good for the dash-based build, but you have to do the charging attack. Don't know how I feel about this. Seems pretty bad, in my opinion. So move on to the next one. This is 5-star artifact. Dio Helmet. Attack speed increased with movement speed buff. Movement speed increased with attack speed buff. Max 50 for move speed. So this is kind of confusing. So the attack speed increased with the movement speed. Movement speed increased with the attack speed. It's vice versa, right? So as long as you have attack speed buff and the movement speed buff, this will increase like with each other, I guess. Yeah, pretty interesting, but this is 5-star artifact, so it's pretty hard to get. Pretty hard to get. Don't know if it's that good though. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Move on to the next one. Weapon Master's Mask is slash blunt pierce explosion continuous type artifact. So this could be really good with the stun type or item holding disc because it has every type available. Slash blunt. I mean, it's generally just good. It's pretty good artifact. Weapon attack is considered to be all damage type. Yeah, this seems really powerful. This is 4-star artifact. Yeah. And let's move on. Next one, Anvil. It's a 2-star artifact. For each stage completion, upgrade a random equipped item. Disabled if unequipped during combat. Oh, this is really strong artifact. If you can get this early, wow, this is crazy good. Yeah, this is really good artifact. This is only 2-star artifact, so you're very likely to find it. Man, this is powerful artifact if I ever saw one. I mean, I think this has to be like 3 or maybe 4-star artifact. It's really powerful, considering it's 2-star artifact. It upgrades a random equipped item, but yeah, each upgrade like I don't know, like the upgrade costs a lot of gem as you get more upgrade. So it's only going to upgrade the equipped item, so you can manipulate this to upgrade one specific item if you can in the early game. So this could be really powerful artifact. Yeah, this I think this is pretty. Yeah, this is really good. Yeah, just for the description alone, this seems really powerful artifact. So I definitely want to start with this artifact if I can find it. That's how powerful this artifact is gonna be, in my opinion. So Chain Balls is a 3-star artifact. It's an attack type artifact. Weapon attack root enemy, reduce effectiveness against the boss. Interesting. So there must be some sort of like a synergy with the rooting the enemy. It is a 3-star artifact. Reduce the effectiveness against the boss. So you can still root the boss, but it's not going to be that effective. But still, seems really cool. Seems really cool. So let's move on. Jester Hood. This is a 4-star artifact. It's an attack and charge based artifact. Perform a combo attack while charging attack. Interesting. So perform a combo attack while charging attack. Oh, interesting. So if I hold down the charging attack, it's just going to do the normal like a combo attack. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Yeah, this could be cool with the charging attack based build. That will also count with combo attack. Yeah, there is a lot of potential here. Oh, very interesting artifact. The next one is a 4-star artifact. It's a gold hood. Damage increases with attack speed buff, max 200. So that is another interesting artifact. So if you can get lots of attack speed buff and you can increase the damage with this, that's good. Because previously attack speed really didn't matter that much because most of the time you will focus a lot on the charge attack most of the time, and you're not gonna focus too much with the attack speed. But with this artifact, that changed everything. Because with the attack speed buff, you can also increase the damage with this artifact. So that is a pretty interesting artifact. Let's move on to the next one. This is a 3-star artifact, Crescent Head. Activating this grants additional 2% damage to weapon attack, which diminishes over time. So we have a crescent head. I think there's a crescent armlet. Yeah, I think the crescent, the other artifact has to do with the standing still, but this is not. So that's kind of interesting. We can have the like kind of some sort of like a set items, but it doesn't have any set bonus. Hmm. Activating this grants additional 2% damage to weapon attacks, which diminishes over time. So if you can activate this lots of time, it's going to increase tons of weapon attack damage, but this is only going to increase the weapon attacks. So this could be good and bad. I don't know. If you rely a lot on the weapon attack, this could be good, but in general cases, I don't think it's that good. But we'll have to wait and see. Move on to the next one. Crossbow is a 2-star artifact. It's a physic pierce attack artifact. While charging attack, shoot an arrow every 0.8 seconds. So if you combine the Jester Hood and with this, that's interesting. That's interesting artifact. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Poison Arrow. This is 3-star artifact. Physic Pierce attack. When player performs combo attack, shoot poison arrow that deals continuous type damage. Interesting. Wow. Okay. Yeah, the charge attack also count. So yeah, this is pretty good with the weapon attack build. Last combo build is kind of good with this. The normal attack. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty decent. Yeah. Oh, there is lots of potential already, even with all these artifacts. Oh, I can't wait to try all of this. So let's move on. Longbow is a physic pierce attack charge based artifact. Shoot multiple arrows when releasing charging attack. Oh boy. Oh, that looks cool though. Oh yeah, this is really good. This looks cool and it looks really good. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe the damage is not that good. I don't know, but it looks really cool. There's a lot of potential for the charging attack based build here. Let's move on. Elemental Hammer. This is 4-star artifact. Fire, cold, lightning type artifact. Apply all elemental affliction equal to 100% of stun power dealt. So if you can deal lots of stun power, yeah, there are a couple of new spells that deals like a 20-30 stun power. So this could be really good, but generally speaking, I'm not really fan of going into elemental affliction build. So this could be good, could be bad, I don't know. But seems really interesting, nevertheless. So let's move on to the next set of artifacts. Okay, let's move on to the next items. Okay, Pirate Head. This is 4-star artifact. It's a critical based artifact. Critical chance increases critical damage. Simple effect, but pretty good. Yeah, this seems really good. If you want to go for the crit build, yeah, this is one of the must-have artifact, I think. Critical chance increases critical damage. Yeah, it seems really good. Move on. Concap. This is 4-star artifact. Fire, cold, lightning, and critical based artifact. So critical hit increases elemental affliction amount by critical damage multiplier. Interesting. So even if you go with the critical based build, you can still deal lots of elemental affliction if you have this artifact. Seems really good. Seems really good. Move on. So red blouse. This is a 3-star artifact. It's a fire-based artifact. When fire status triggers, reduce its lightning and cold resistance. Okay, so this could be good with the other elemental type. And of course, there are, lightning base and the cold base as well. So yellow blouse is a 3-star artifact. It's a lightning base. When lightning status triggered, reduce fire and cold resistance, and vice versa, right? Yes, we have 3 type of them. And if you have all of them, this is just going to reduce the every resistance type, basically. So blue blouse, cold artifact. When cold status trigger, reduce the target's fire and lightning resistance. Okay, maybe if you can collect all of this, yeah, this could be good. But this is gonna take like 3 artifact slots, so I don't know. I think I have to try it and see how this works. But it seems good. This seems good. So next one is a Titan's Club. This is a 1-star artifact. Increase 100% stun power. Pretty simple effect. And there are lots of like a disc and artifact that has to do and the spell that has to do with the stun power. So this could be nice if you want to go for like a stun power build. Yeah, this could be nice. Very simple artifact, but pretty good. So Warhammer is a 4-star artifact. It's a physic blunt type artifact. Create blunt type shockwave every 50 stun power dealt. Interesting. I mean, this is 4-star artifact. 50 stun power. That's a lot of stun power. But there are a couple of new spells that deals like 20 to 30 stun power. So this could be really good combined with those spell. And generally, most spell have a bit of stun power with it. So if you have lots of spell and if you have lots of disc activation with this spell, this could be generally just good enough. But we'll have to wait and see how good this is. Yeah, seems good, but I don't know. We have to try it and see how this goes. So let's move on to the next one. Curved Sword. It's a physic slash type artifact. While dashing, create slash type attack. While dashing. So that must be it. Oh. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, you see it's like some sort of like I think that's the slash that's from the curved sword. So this could be really good with the dash build. Yeah, this could be really good with the dash build. And the next one is a Tempest Fan. It's a 2-star artifact. It's an artifact physical continuous dash type. Oh, this one doesn't have dash type on it. That's strange. Anyway, so this one creates a whirlwind at the end of dash. Yeah, you can see the whirlwind right there. Man, that lasts for a long time though. So we create 4 whirlwind at the end of dash. So this is another really good dash-based artifact. So I can't really wait to try all of them together. This could be really powerful build. I mean, dash build is usually really powerful. They nerfed it a couple of times, but I still think the dash build is probably the strongest build in the game right now. So let's move on to the next one. Auto Charge Gauntlet. It's a 1-star artifact. Charge attack is charged automatically. Okay. And that's pretty slow. Can I charge? Okay. So I can increase the charge speed by charging it myself as well. But the fact that I can just... Yeah. The fact that this automatically charges your charge attack is kind of... Yeah, it's really helpful if you have the long charge attack. Even though this is a 1-star artifact, this could be really good with the charging attack build. Yeah, this could be really good. So let's move on to the next one. Golden Plate is a 4-star artifact. It's a gem-based artifact, huh? Gain 5% of gems held as maximum health. 3,000 gems. Oh my god. Okay. So we have 300 health right now. So this will increase the maximum health by 150. That's crazy good. But the downside is you have to have 3,000 gems health. I don't know. That's gonna be really hard thing to do. Yeah, holding on to 3,000 gems but not spending it. Hmm. Yeah, that can be really difficult to do, but if you can manage it, this is pretty good. Increase your health by 150 max health is pretty huge deal. That's pretty huge deal. So let's move on to the next one. This is a 2-star artifact, Crescent Helm. It's a shield-based artifact. Gain 15 shield per second while combo attacking. Shield is removed while not combo attacking. Max 30. Okay, that is pretty good. So it decreases while you are not attacking, but as long as you keep attacking, this will generate shield. Oh, this can be really good. If you concentrate on the last combo based build or just normal attack build, this can be really powerful. Yeah, I like it. So let's move on to the next one. This is 4-star artifact, Guard Skirt. It's a dash based artifact. Gain 1 shield when player dashes. Max 5. 1? Hold on. Yeah, it's just 1. I thought I was like only 1. So you can have up to 5 shield. I mean, I don't know. I mean, 1 artifact slot for this? Even if I go for the dash build, I don't think I'm gonna take it. The value you get from this is just too small. 1 shield? I mean, you can have up to like 5 shields. I don't know. This is like a 4-star artifact. It's kind of hard to get this. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, maybe if there's a way to use your shield effectively, maybe. But right now, the value is just too small to be good. I don't know. I don't know about this. Let's move on to the next one. The Poison Cave is a 2-star based artifact. It's a continuous artifact. Deal continuous type damage to nearby enemy. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, this could be really good with the dash based build because you get close to the enemy. So this could be good. Next one is a Poison Flask. It's a continuous artifact. Every 3 seconds creates a poison pool. So let's see. Where is the poison pool? Every 3 seconds create a poison pool. Oh, that must be the poison pool here, isn't it? That's the poison pool? It doesn't look like poison at all. It more looks like ice. Yeah, this must be poison pool. But I think this is missing some description here because I think you have to work. Yeah. I must be missing something. And it doesn't look anything like poison, so yeah, I must be missing something here. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Boomerang. It's a physic blunt attack artifact. It's a 2-star artifact. Okay, this one was a 4-star artifact. I don't know if it's that good. I think there's some description missing here. And it didn't look like a poison pool at all. So maybe they will fix it in the future. Hmm. So okay, let's move on to the next one. Sorry about that. So boomerang is a 2-star artifact. It's a physic blunt attack artifact. So a boomerang whenever player dashes. Boomerangs are returned to a player at the end of dash. Okay, let's get rid of this because it's kind of confusing. Okay. So it hovers around, then it's going to return to the player. I don't know if it's that good, but this could be interesting with the dash build, I guess. Okay, move on to the next one. Next one is a Mage Shield. It's a 2-star artifact. It's a shield artifact. Gain 1 shield when casting weapon spell. Max is 5. Yeah, the same deal. Come on, look at this. This is 4-star artifact. It has the same value as a 2-star base artifact. I don't know about this. The shield you get is just too small to be effective, I think. I don't know. Max is 5, but still. I don't know how good this is. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, but the value is just too small, in my opinion. So let's move on. The next one is a Bone Shield. This is 5-star artifact. Gain 1 shield for each non-minion death. Each non-minion death. Max 5. Okay, come on. This is 5-star artifact. I mean, I get it. You can generate lots of shield with this, but the max value you get is still 5 compared to the other artifacts. Still 5. I mean, if you get lots of different shield-based artifacts together, maybe you can do some sort of like a shield build, I guess, but I don't see how this is that good. Yeah, same deal. It's pretty interesting artifact, but the value you get is just too small, in my opinion. Let's move on to the next one. Next one is the 3-star artifact, Turtle Shell. Gain 5 shield per second while being idle. Lose 7.5 shield per second while moving. Max is 10. So this is another standing still based artifact. Yeah, this definitely helps with standing still build, but again, the shield you get too small. I mean, you have to stand still, and you're only getting 10 shield and 5 shield per second, and 10 shield is the maximum shield you can get. Yeah, I think they need to buff this just a bit, to make this more usable. Right now, standing still build just doesn't work, but with the addition of the turtle shell, it might be viable. But I still think the value is just too small right now. They probably need to buff a couple of the artifacts here. Most of these artifacts seems interesting, but the value you get is just too small. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the next set of artifacts. Okay, so next set of artifacts. Here we go. So this is Shield Potion. This shield-based artifact is a 2-star artifact. One obtaining a potion gain 5 shield. Max 10. But getting a potion is kind of difficult in game most of the time. So I don't know how good this is. But if you can combine this with the Alchemist backpack, and there are artifacts that increase the health potion drop. So if you can combine with those, this could be good, but I don't know. It's just too random. It's just too random to get the potion, so it's not really reliable way to get the shield, in my opinion. So let's move on. So this is a Burst Gauger. This is 2-star artifact, Fire Explosion artifact. Create an explosion when gazing enemies for some duration. Interesting artifact, but probably not gonna use it. Probably not. It really depends on how much damage this deals. But considering this is 2-star base artifact, probably not that much. But it's pretty interesting idea. Move on to the next one, Necronomicon. Necromonicon, not Nomicon, Monicon. Interesting. For every 4 enemy minion killed, create a weapon spell. That is pretty powerful artifact. If you even if you don't go for the summon minion build, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. It's especially good in the survival mode because you just keep killing the enemy over and over. So this artifact seems really good. Move on to the next one. Japier's book. This is a 2-star artifact. It's a dash-based artifact. When player dashes, generate 20 mana to all disc. This is really powerful artifact. Considering this is 2-star artifact, this is really good. Yeah, if you go for the dash-based build, yeah, this is like one of the must-have artifact because this is just going to generate tons of mana to all disc. That's really good. This shouldn't be 2-star artifact in my opinion. It's just too good. So next one is Blood Contract. This is 4-star base artifact. It's increased mana generation and weapon spell mana regeneration for each missing health. Yeah, about that. I mean, it seems good, but for each missing health, it's kind of like a berserker build almost. It's kind of hard to do that because you have limited way to heal in games. So I don't know how good this is gonna be. Obviously, the more missing health you have, the better. But we have to wait and see. There are some sort of like a potential for the missing health berserker build, but it's kind of hard to make this work. But we'll have to wait and see. Wait and see. I actually have to try them and see if this works or not. But it seems really good. But at the same time, it's kind of hard to use it. Move on to the next one. Log Pants is another dash artifact, huh? 50 increased max health and 1 increased max dash stamina. Huh. Yeah, this is like a 1-star artifact, but seems really good. Yeah, 50 increased max health, obviously good. 1 increased max dash stamina, obviously really good. Yeah, so I really like it. This is 1-star artifact, so it's pretty good artifact to get it early, I think. Move on to the next one. This is a Magic Gun 5-star artifact. Every 12 disc activation, the disc also create equipped weapon spell. Hold on. So every 12 disc activation, the disc also creates equipped weapon spell. So it's basically going to create extra weapon spell every 12 disc activation. This is really powerful. If you have lots of disc and spell synergy, yeah, this is really good. Really good. I mean, yeah, this has to be good because it's a 5-star artifact. This is really powerful artifact. Not game breaking, but still pretty powerful. So next one is Might Marvel. This is a 5-star artifact. It has slash, blunt, pierce, explosion, continuous type, all tagged together. 5% increased damage for damage type for each damage type spell equipped. Okay, hold on. This is kind of confusing. So 5% increased damage for damage type for each damage type spell equipped. So this is basically a Librarian Codex, but as a spell type instead of the elemental type, I think. So in theory, increase damage for damage type for each damage type spell equips. So it doesn't have to be one specific type, does it? Based on what I'm reading right here, type for each damage type spell equipped. No, it has to be that specific type. So if you yeah, it's basically Librarian Codex, but weapon spell type instead of elemental type. I get it. So in theory, you can have up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So you can have 5. No. It's not 5. It's a 50% damage increase. I don't know. It doesn't seem that good. But if you can combine this with the scroll and maybe even if I do that, I just don't have a slot for the artifact. I don't know. This seems interesting, but I think I have to work. I think I have to make this work with the other artifact. This seems really interesting, but it has the same problem with the library and codex. You have to concentrate on very specific type of spell, and it is kind of difficult to do that. And you do have limited amount of artifact slots, so in order to make this more viable option, you need to get other artifact to support this, and you also need to get very specific type of spell in order to make this work. Yeah, it's kind of difficult, but it could work. It could work. But I think the value you get is just too small here. 5%, I think it should be at least 10% increased damage. Yeah, 5% is just too small. So let's move on to the next one. Next one is a Circular Blade. This is 4-star based artifact. It's a physics slash artifact. Attack slash type. What? Attach slash type blades to disc, which damages enemies on contact. Interesting. So it's okay. So each disc will have this slash type blade attached to it. So as the disc travels nearby the enemy, it's going to damage the enemy. That's pretty interesting concept. Yeah, pretty interesting. This is 4-star based, 4-star artifacts, but this seems interesting. Not sure how good this is, but seems interesting. Let's move on. So dual edge. This is a physics slash attack artifact. Create slash type attack when player spins around. Okay. Oh, interesting. So that is the slash, huh? Okay, so this is another really good artifact for the X charge attack because X charge attack forces the player to spin around. So this could be really good with the X charge attack build. Oh, I definitely want to try that with the X charge attack. Seems good. Seems good. But normally you're probably not gonna use this because it's kind of hard to activate this because you have to spin around. Uh, yeah, I don't know. This could be good for the X, but for other type of attack or other type of weapon, probably not that good. Let's move on. So gem grenade. This is a 2-star artifact. Explosion gem. Create an explosion for every 20 gem pickup. Huh. So this could be good with the gem obtaining build. Hmm. Interesting artifact. Move on. So next one is a hit sinker. This is 3-star artifact. Disk reduce its overhead value for distance disk travel. Yeah, this sounds really good. And yeah, sounds really good. And I think that's why they nerfed it. Yeah, they nerfed it after its release. So yeah, it seems really powerful. Let's move on. So next one is the Soul Bind Armor. Gain 0.5 health when defeating a non-minion enemy while close range. So that's another healing artifact. The healing artifact is really rare, so this seems really powerful. The only problem I can see is you have to defeat the enemy while close range. That's the only downside. So I don't know how good this is gonna be, but seems really powerful. But I think it's kind of hard to activate this unless you have like lots of spell only deals the damage close around the player. Maybe this would be good with the orbit or the dash based artifact and spell. Maybe aura based, orbit based artifact and spell. This could work, but other than that, I don't know. Seems really good, but it's kind of hard to make this work. Anyway, let's move on. Next one is a power cannon. This is a 4-star artifact, physics explosion. Every 5 seconds, create a bomb which deals the same damage as the biggest single damage dealt during the cooldown. That's really interesting. So if you can deal like a lot of critical damage, like a single target damage, if you can deal highest damage as possible, this will duplicate that damage and it's going to create explosion. Seems really powerful out of this seems really powerful artifact. If you can get this to work properly, this could be a game changer artifact. Seems really powerful. Yeah. Move on. Vital Pack. This is 2-star artifact. 15 increased max health for each unequipped item in the inventory. So you can have up to 150 increased max health if you have 10 unequipped item in the inventory. So that's pretty interesting, but the same deal here. Having 10 unequipped item is gonna be really difficult to manage most of the time because you have limited amount of gem to spend. I mean, it seems really powerful, but at the same time, it's really hard to make this work. So we'll have to wait and see. Let's move on. Fire Ring is a 1-star artifact. It's a fire-based artifact. 70% increased fire affliction, 30% increased other elemental affliction. Huh. So same deal is the Ice Ring, 1-star artifact. Basically does the same thing. 70% increase cold affliction, 30% increase other elemental affliction. Lightning Ring, 70% increase lightning affliction, 30% increase other elemental affliction. So if you can combine all of this together, that's gonna be interesting build. Yeah, I think you can go for like a tri-elemental build with all of this together. There are other artifacts that does a similar thing, so this could be really good. I don't know, but this takes 3 artifact slot in order to make this work. But still, it seems really good considering this is a 1-star artifact. Seems really good. Okay, let's move on to the next artifact. So Bear Armor is a shield artifact. Generate 2 shield per second while having full stamina. Max is 5. Increase 5 max shield with more Bear artifact. So you can have up if you complete the whole set, you can have it up to 25 max shield. That's really good. So now we actually have another set artifact. We have Rooster set. Now we have a Bear set. This is a 4-star artifact. So the rarity of this artifact is pretty high. So it's pretty now compared to the Rooster artifact, it's going to be more difficult to complete the Bear set. The next one is the Bear Head. This is a 3-star artifact, critical attack based artifact. Increase 3% critical chance and 50% weapon damage for a valuable dash count. What? For a valuable dash count. Increase more with other the other bear artifact. Okay, seems really good. So you start with the 3 dash count. So even without bear set, you still get 9% critical chance and 45% in weapon damage increase, right? Because it's for a valuable dash count. Yeah, it's really good. If you go for the dash build, the bear set might be a way to go. I mean, even without the dash build, it seems really good. Really good. Move on to the next one, Bear Boot. It's a 3-star artifact. Increase 10% stun power and 10% attack speed for each available dash count. Increases more with Bear artifact. Yeah, same deal here. Even without other Bear artifact, it seems really good. I mean, you normally start with 3 dash counts, so 30% stun power, 30% attack speed, as long as you have the dash count of valuable. So as long as you don't dash, you get all the value out of this. It kind of has a synergy with the dash build, but at the same time it doesn't. It's kind of confusing, but seems really good. Seems really good. Let's move on. Next one is the Bear Glove. This is a 4-star artifact. Increase 10% damage of valuable for a valuable dash count. Increases more with other bear artifact. Yeah, same deal. Three dash count normally, so 30% damage increase as long as you don't dash, that is. So let's move on to the next one. This is another 4-star artifact, Bare Legs. It's a dash based artifact. 100% increased dash stamina recovery increases 50% more for other bear artifacts. So we can have up to 200% stamina recovery. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we can recover really fast. Okay, let me try it. Yeah, that's pretty fast. That's pretty fast recovery. Okay, if you have the bare legs, using dash with the bear set is a viable option if you can get the complete set. Compared to the rooster set, I don't know. I mean, the, the main difference is you can generate shield with the bear set compared to the rooster set. You can't generate shield, but this can generate shield. Interesting set, very interesting. Yeah, I definitely want to collect this, and I definitely want to try this in game. It seems really good if you can complete the whole set, and if you go for the dash build, if you can increase your dash count with the other artifact, this will be more powerful. So I can't wait to try this set. Yeah, it seems really good. Anyway, let's move on. So next one is Forest Blessed. This is actually why is this okay? This is not new artifact. Yeah, we had this before. They just changed the icon. So Forest Blast is a 1-star artifact, 65% increased health potion drop chance. Yeah, we had this before. This is old artifact, but they changed the icon. That's it. It does the same thing, but yeah, it used to have the like a cave looking icon, but now this is more clear. Yeah, move on. So next one is the Bestial Embrace. Yeah, this is another old artifact. It does the same thing as before. Gain critical chance and critical damage for missing health. It just changed the icon. This used to look like this one. Yeah. Yeah, this used to look like this one, but they changed the icon and it does the same thing. They just changed the icon and that's it. So Blood Claw is a 2-star artifact. It's gains 3% stackable attack damage on attack hit. Hold on. Isn't this another? No. Yeah, I think this. If I remember correctly, yeah, this is the old artifact. It does the same thing. It just changed the icon. So this used to look like this one, if I remember correctly. They just changed the icon. So same deal here. The lightning geyser apply lightning affliction towards looking direction. I think they changed the icon, and I think they still do the same thing. Yeah. So these four are not actually new artifact. They just changed the icon. Yeah, there are a couple of artifacts that got their icons changed, but I don't know why this showed up in the patch note as a new item. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's it for the new disc. So 24 new disc, 57 spell, 65 artifact. Well, not. I mean, it's actually 61 because these four are not actually a new artifact. But anyway, that's it for today. There was a lot to go through. Hopefully, this video is not that long. And a couple of things to keep in mind, and all of this are subject to change, and the value in the story mode and survival mode is going to be different. So keep that in mind as well. So hopefully, this helps. There was a lot of items to go through. Yeah. Oh, I am tired. I can't wait to try all of this out in the actual story mode as well as the survival mode. I'm sure they need to balance a couple of this. Some of them seems really weak, some of them seems really powerful, but I would have to actually try them out myself in order to get the actual, value of the artifact and the spell and the disc. Hopefully they add more stuff to the game, and also they do a bit of balancing for the game as well, because right now I don't think it's well balanced. Most of some of the weapons, spell, and disc, it just seems really powerful compared to the others. And the survival mode and the story modes need, in my opinion, these are a bit of balance. Have a better balance issue as well. Yep. Anyway, I think that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys on my next video. Take care. Bye.